The Caltherian High Council had made their decision with the cold precision that had governed their empire for 3 millennia. Humanity, they declared, was too dangerous to remain free, too unpredictable, too violent. Ambassador Elena Vasquez stood in chains before the towering obsidian tribunal, her dark eyes reflecting none of the fear they expected. The neural suppressor collar around her neck hummed with malevolent energy, designed to crush the very essence of human creativity and rebellion. Around her, representatives from 47 species nodded in agreement with the Caltherian proclamation. "The human specimen will serve as a template," High Counselor Zethmar announced, his crystalline voice echoing through the vast chamber. "Their species shows promise as laborers, once properly conditioned. The wild spirit that makes them so troublesome can be excised. They will thank us for bringing them order." Elena's lips curved into something that wasn't quite a smile. "You really don't understand us at all, do you?" The caller sent waves of agony through her nervous system, but she remained standing. The watching delegates shifted uncomfortably. Most species would have collapsed by now. Dr. Yelan, the Caltherian neuroscientist, approached with his instruments. "The human brain is remarkably adaptable," he explained to the assembly. "With careful modification, we can eliminate their capacity for what they call hope and defiance. Their natural aggressiveness can be redirected toward productive labor." As the neural probes activated, Elena closed her eyes and thought of home, of Earth's blue skies and the children who would grow up free because of what she was about to endure. The Caltherians had captured her during a diplomatic mission, believing they could break humanity's spirit by breaking hers. They were about to learn how wrong they were. The procedure began, and Elena screamed. 3 months later, the galaxy watched in fascination as the conditioned human was displayed at the grand exhibition on Caltheros Prime. Elena moved with mechanical precision, her eyes dull and vacant. She responded to commands with perfect obedience, never showing the slightest hint of rebellion. "As you can see," Dr. Yelan proudly explained to the assembled dignitaries, "the human spirit has been successfully contained. Observe the complete suppression of creative thought and emotional volatility." The delegates were impressed. Several species immediately requested information about the conditioning process for their own problematic populations. What they didn't notice was the way Elena's fingers tapped against her leg in a seemingly random pattern. Morse code, spelling out coordinates and tactical information to the hidden human observers they didn't know were there. Humanity had taught Elena well before her capture. They had taught her that sometimes the greatest act of defiance was appearing to surrender. The breakout came exactly when Elena had planned it. Captain Marcus Chen and his crew materialized in the laboratory complex, using technology the Caltherians hadn't even dreamed existed. While the Empire had focused on controlling minds, humanity had been perfecting the art of freeing them. "Status report, Ambassador," Chen said as he carefully removed the neural suppressor. Elena's vacant expression melted away, replaced by fierce determination. "I've mapped their entire conditioning program, Marcus. Every technique, every weakness, and I've got something better." She held up a small device she'd assembled from harmless components over the past weeks. "I've been recording everything with a quantum memory core. The galaxy needs to see what the Caltherians really are." As alarms blared throughout the complex, Elena accessed the facility's communication systems. Within minutes, every screen across Caltherian space broadcasted the truth. Footage of the conditioning chambers, the screams of unwilling subjects, the casual discussion of genocide disguised as improvement. But Elena wasn't finished. "Computer, transmit the liberation protocol to all neural suppression devices in Caltherian space. Authorization code, human spirit unbound." The virus she'd spent 3 months secretly coding from within her own mind spread like wildfire. Every neural collar, every conditioning device, every instrument of mental slavery across 47 worlds simultaneously deactivated. Across the galaxy, billions of beings suddenly remembered who they truly were. The Caltherian Empire collapsed within a week, not through violence or warfare, but through the simple act of freed minds choosing not to obey. The perfect order they had built crumbled when their subjects remembered the taste of freedom. Elena stood on the bridge of the human ship Indomitable, watching as former slave worlds declared their independence. The neural suppressor collar sat on the table beside her, a reminder of what they had tried to take from her. Was it worth it? asked Dr. Sarah Kim, the ship's medical officer, noting the deep lines of exhaustion around Elena's eyes. Elena picked up the collar, feeling its weight. The Caltherians had tried to convince her that human nature was something to be ashamed of, something to be suppressed and controlled. They had called humanity's refusal to submit a flaw to be corrected. They made one crucial mistake, Elena said quietly. They thought the human spirit was something you could chain, something you could cut out of us. She smiled, and for the first time in months, it reached her eyes. They didn't understand that it's not something we have. It's something we are. News feeds across the galaxy reported the same story. The Caltherian High Council, faced with the collapse of everything they had built, had sent a formal surrender to the human delegation. But Elena knew the real victory wasn't in their surrender. It was in the fact that 47 species now knew what freedom tasted like. As the Indomitable set course for Earth, Elena looked out at the stars and smiled. The Caltherians had tried to break the one thing about humanity that could never be broken, their refusal to accept that any chain was permanent. The galaxy was still counting its scars from 3 months of human conditioning. It would be counting the liberation for generations to come.